Hey, welcome to the Vell and Sheila show.
Hello, hello.
I'm so glad you're back. You know,
It's a pleasure to be here.
probably some of you are saying, oh, you just keep having Lavelle back because he's this cutie pie Ashtar Commander dude, and it's true. It's true. Really, no, there's no doubt I am the Heyoka of the Ashtar Command. There's no doubt. I am here to bring laughter and joy to this planet. And knowing peeps like you, Lavelle, it sure makes it easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, always one source, get together, shining the light, and assisting planet Earth in this now moment. It's a pleasure.
You know, for those of you who maybe your hearing hasn't kicked in, uh, there is a when in telepathic communication with the universe, there is a collective message in what we're receiving. And my hearing kicked in the mid 90s, and I have gotten very accustomed to being communicated. I say spoken, but it's telepathic. If you'll notice on Lavelle's messages at Facebook, each paragraph is like one sentence because there is this huge meaning to all that is relayed to us in that and it is a challenge to put into words something that has such grand meaning. And that was when I first met Lavelle, was how I knew he was being authentic and sincere, and it was a collective message because of the content of one sentence.
Absolutely.
So, as one who also stands before the council, I would ask that you speak of the conscious collective.
All right. So, our collective is one of 144,000. That number reigns significant amongst a lot of different aspects of this particular dimension, based on geometric factors, based on spiritual factors, that of light codes, and so forth. This can get very extensive and complex in nature, but let's just keep it simple for our expression here. We speak in unison as one particular aspect of the divine and being here to communicate and relay divine light codes of information for those who are open and available and aware of this transition taking place. So it's beyond what you would know as gender or individual aspects of the one, where a conscious collective has merged with their authenticity within themselves. And I want to say it's a merging of a collective soul that agreed to split into various aspects for the purpose of experiencing physicality, where once awakened, there is a remerging and a funneling of these particular expressions into one particular aspect of communication, or different expressions of communication in service to the divine here in this particular dimension, being that we're here in the third, fourth, fifth dimensional spectrum. This is the way we express ourselves as a collective through individual expressions for the purpose of shining that particular light and transitioning and expressing, communicating light codes of information for awakening.
All right. One of the things when we are either reading or listening to these messages It is important to be open. These messages that are being sent are of a vibration that is within us. And I think it is important that even though maybe that has not ignited within you yet, to be able to hear it and allow yourself and begin to learn to be open. Okay, let's talk about how we open up to that vibration of the message so that it can find that within ourselves.
This is an aspect of grounding. Being open is more so about being present. Initially, upon awakening and within my own path, just to, as far as an individual.
We're having I can't hear you. Are we doing this telepathically?
Stand by with technical issues as we go back.
That's kind of funny.
Whenever you have this amount of energy going around and stuff, of course you're going to have some byproducts.
Yes.
Issues going on.
And I did a long meditation before I started this, and I said I wasn't going to do that when the bell's on because it makes way too much.
Yeah.
All right, so 1 second, please. Can you hear me?
There we go.
All right.
We were going telepathic there for a moment.
And we're back.
All right, so I shall continue on. Initially, upon awakening, we're still getting a grasp of releasing fear, doubt, worry, suspicion. So within this particular fabric, there's still a sense of disconnect where we're attempting to establish a sense of authenticity in what we're absorbing as far as the information is concerned. With that, there's an analysis, and not necessarily from a place of suspicion, but also from a place of attempting to understand. Understanding is more so a mental construct or a concept where we're attempting to understand what this is. It's just an understanding is limited because you'd have to look at the whole of a particular subject matter from each and every spectrum of its existence. It's just that we're basically expressing love and the eternal nature of our existence here. So it's much too vast to attempt to understand, if you will. It's just that openness is in absorbing the information, more so reading. It's a feeling. When these light codes are expressed or relayed through text that you see via Facebook or any other media platform, they're more so light codes of energy, where as an angelic collective, we are aware of all who absorb these messages, and we coexist amongst those absorbing the messages from an energetic standpoint within and without. So as you connect with the information, there's intuitive information and energies being relayed within you, where it's actually light codes as well as downloads and information that's being projected on the holographic screen. It's just that the openness is just more so in being present and seeing the information versus attempting to overanalyze it, where you're reading each sentence and looking to see and try to compute what's being expressed. There's more taking place, and as you absorb the information, there's more things taking place outside of the mental construct spectrum.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I began this journey, there is this aspect of trust because you've been so used to being told and presented with things from the people around you, and now you are tapping into something higher and within, and there is a little trust matter. How does one get through that trust matter? That because we're used to being kind of lied to and screwed around with here, the universe doesn't do that, but you don't know that at first. How do you get through that initial trust process?
This is an aspect of grounding as well. All of it reverts back to the mental construct where fear and suspicion and all of these distortions exist. It's about a self-realization of who you are as God, as a creator, as the source of all that you see, and realizing this is actually a hologram. There's nothing outside of you. A lot of newly awakened souls, many might notice, attempt to they feel that awakening is about recognizing things to protect yourself from, having excuse my French, but having a quote unquote BS meter or detector, and this, that, and the third. Like, these are all aspects of protection. And at the end of the day, the brain is gonna, whatever the brain is looking for or attempting to find, it's gonna find, because at the end of the day, expectation and anticipation is the creation of these aspects. So when your suspicion overtakes your presence in being the creator, you're creating the things that you're suspicious about. So once again, releasing that fear and digressing and relaxing and calming yourself and knowing that all is in divine order throughout creation. And this is actually your own experience. Life is unfolding for you, created by you, and realizing that this entire experience is something that's an unfoldment of your own, for your own benefit.
Extremely unique.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people realize how extremely unique their lives and their choices are, because you get bunched up with a lot of people, and you think you're just, it's easy just to, it's like everything else, and
absolutely,
and really to take that time and the discipline, I did not realize that I was capable of such discipline once I became in communication with the command and with my higher self. And let's talk about discipline, because I always said I would make a lousy military wife because I'm too rebellious, but I have learned great discipline through my spiritual training.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it's consistency, focus. There's a lot to embracing the moment. And once again, when you're centered and you realize that this is the most important reality there is, like even our conversation, this communication, this is the most important thing that's happening in existence itself. It's just that now it deserves all of your attention, 100% of it. Once again, if you have a mental identity, a lot of times you're 50% here, 30% on what's happening next or what you have to do later, another 20% on what's taking place tomorrow, or random things that you have to take care of, or responsibilities within the holographic reality. It's just that, once again, now, how you feel now, the discipline to stay focused and be here at present determines your efficiency and effectiveness. Your efficiency and effectiveness and your cool allows a gentle unfoldment, more grace. Like discipline has a frequency or strand of growth where you're aware of who you are and what you're doing, and you trust that all that's necessary is taking place. This is another aspect of that discipline. When you release the foresight of attempting to put pieces to a puzzle together or figure things out, there's a sense of distrust there and lack. And once you get into that chaos, there's an unease there where you're not necessarily present, where being present, you're able to be graceful. Being present, you recognize what's necessary, what's important. And from here, you're being guided. Here in your presence, you're being guided. And that guidance is constant. It's always present. And when you're present, that discipline is there, because the guidance is always being provided, and everything that you need to do is being done now by you in an effective manner, in a graceful manner, as you are present and And this is where discipline comes in, because there's no space and time. And when you're always in that guidance, you're always doing exactly what's necessary. And then before you know it, you're writing every day. You're being creative every day. You're expressing every day. You're expanding every day. Your light is becoming brighter and brighter every day. And before you know it, there's this consistent expression of a brand new, evolved lifestyle where a person would look back and say, well, I've done this almost every day now, where you're actually being present the entire time. This is what's necessary. This is discipline.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Some of those aspects of discipline would be like, for me, it was, okay, now I'm going to pay attention to what music I listen to, because I want it to assist me in my vibration.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Well, I want to eat the foods that assist my vibration. I feel more inclined to surround myself with those like minds, and to detach myself from those who are not in an intentional higher vibration. And okay, and then there comes those moments, even in a now moment, there comes those moments when something from some darkness from within has surfaced. Okay. I just had a phase. My mom passed, and I have been doing all the things that go along with that. I can say very honestly that that was rough.
Absolutely.
Okay? And it has taken me some time to get myself back on track and in the now, and to, I'm telling you, I tried to control. I tried to resist. I mean, I went through the gamut of emotions and reactions that you can go through. However, there came a moment then when I was like, okay, there it is. Here I am now, though. And I'm in the comfort of my home, and there are no bad guys out there. There is no loss. And I was able to start breathing again and getting back on track. I do not, however, put myself down for those moments. I've embraced them. Let's talk about embracing these dark moments that we're having and relate that to being in the now.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, we admire your courage and strength and ability to be here and remain balanced and continue to move forward in our divine mission as a collective. That's a beautiful thing. And once again, only the best of the galaxy in this particular multiverse are here to serve because of that particular strength. So blessings to you, much healing as always.
Thank you.
These upheavals they're integrated aspects of the experience. The more work, internal work, emotional work that's being done by all individuals on this path is assisting the graceful unfoldment of these processes extremely. I mean, it's vital. It's almost about having the discipline, like you said before, to do the work before there's something that takes place. Like when you do this internal work constantly while things are maybe going grand, like, there's no upheavals and this is that and the third, everything's rather comfortable. This is where the work is most important, because then you balance. And once upheavals do take place, or something does come up for review.
Come up for review. What a good way to say that.
The most important aspect of that is the self-love within. It's the unconditional love within. There's a sense of calm, soothe, balance within. Like, even if there was an outburst or a upheaval of emotional nature, that will come to the rescue. Because once again, there's no judgment amongst the heavens. There's no judgment amongst our angelic guardians. We are with you. And for the most part, most of the judgment, especially within this particular plane, comes from the anticipation, expectation of what spirituality is supposed to be, what unconditional love looks like, what a higher evolved energetic, emotional body looks like or seems like. These are all misconceptions. It's necessary just to be, accept, allow the experience to take place. Allow yourself to feel the way you feel. Allow yourself to do the things that you do. It's just that through this allowance, this acceptance, the more rapid your ability to heal is. And the healing process comes through that sense of calming, where you relax and you digress from your expressions, cursing, your debates with other people and some of these other upheavals. You digress from that and you police yourself. You relax. And it's like, well, you know what? I understand this. This is new.
Sound. There we go. No.
No, it sounds like we're getting feedback, like it came unplugged. So, again, technical stuff, but I believe that I can, of course, edit some of this on podcasts, but it is to be expected with the amount of energy and the communication you're trying to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And he is off. And he's coming back.
Okay.
In the meantime, this is Rachel Love. I'd like to also wish my condolences. You went through a very tough period of time, and it's good to see that this experience has created a much more aware individual that's become the light. It's helping so many people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It has been challenging. It has been a blessing. It's been certainly something that I'm walking through and learning as I go through. The fear has been immense. I feel like I've been swimming with the sharks, and I had to remember that, you know, I could deal with that and still be bring my light in there as best as possible. So, and the outreach has been amazing.
We lost your video now also, Sheila.
Okay.
All right, do you hear me?
The Vell's back as far as everybody's back, but no video.
No, not getting any video.
Well, myself as well. I'm not able to. I'm clicking the video button. It's not operational.
But again, the energy level. So perhaps just wrap it up.
Okay.
And thank everybody for being here. And we'll have another show again. But this is very valuable information. What we do have, I appreciate it as the producer. Appreciate all the effort and all the knowledge, and wisdom that's being shared today.
Absolutely, great pleasure.
The value are a beacon, a light for so many to see, and I so do appreciate our connection. I feel a sincere brotherhood, cosmic family connection with you, and I just am so grateful that you continue to come on the show, and I know that that our peeps are so happy to hear your voice and to receive these messages that you are so so generous with. So
Absolutely. Once again, a great pleasure to be here. We are one family, and seeing the liberation of the human species in this now moment. Once again, all divine, all one source.
thank you so much. Everybody, from my heart to yours, namaste.
Namaste.